If you're going to have a story about discrimination, there's no way Gohmert's not going to want to pile on. He's like, I got to get in. What dumb thing can I say to stand out from the crowd? Oh, he's going to come up with something. Let's listen.
But these are religious beliefs. And how have we gotten so far afield from the Constitution that we say, well, if you're not willing to embrace the liberal beliefs that we have, then your religious beliefs are not protected? It doesn't say that in the First Amendment. It avoids the establishment of a religion. Well, some of it are establishing the religion of secularism, and everybody else's religion is just got to basically go to blazes.
Go to blazes, okay. Louie Gohmert, of course, talking about the Arizona bill, which would make it legal to discriminate against gays and throw them out from public establishments. So, I've got news for you, Louie. Secularism is not a religion. In some ways, it's the exact opposite. Secularism means that we should not be ruled by a religion, any religion, or any belief, including atheism or agnosticism. If we had a militant atheist who was the president of the United States, and we had a militant atheist Congress, fascinating world we'd be living in, right? And they said, we're going to establish a new state religion, and that is no religion, right? That everybody must be forced to become an atheist. Okay, we're going to take down the churches, etc. That would be wildly unconstitutional. And by the way, the secular people would oppose that. Because what secular means is we don't impose any of the religions or ideological beliefs in the realm of religion. So you don't know what the hell you're talking about. There is no let us bow to the secular God. God, you are so stupid. Okay, but that's not why we bring you this. You already knew Gohmert's an idiot. Now he's going to make a comparison that, of course, since it's Gohmert, takes it over the top.
There's so many black pastors who stood up and said, this is not analogous. The civil rights movement was a totally different ball of wax than what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, and some of them are very shocked. You know, they participated in the civil rights movement, and then to turn around and have gay rights folks saying, now you can't practice your religious beliefs. You know, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. We stood up for you and your beliefs, and now you're saying we can't stand up for our beliefs because they conflict with you? This is not what freedom is about. I'm supposed to be able to have freedom to worship as I believe and actually follow the teachings in the Bible.
Now, we helped the blacks, by the way, who's we? When did you help them? Okay, anyway, we helped the blacks to get freedom during the civil rights era. Now we're taking away their freedom to hate people just like we hated them. Wow, isn't that ironic? See, Louie's worried about the poor African Americans in this country who had finally gained the freedom to hate people like they were hated, and now you're going to take that away from them. Well, it's a good thing Louie's standing up for them. So Glenn Beck thinks that you've got to have the freedom to discriminate against gays. What kind of a country are we running if you can't hate on gays? This, of course, in regards to the controversial Arizona law. Let's find out pearls of wisdom from Glenn Beck.
I don't like that world where everybody is able to say, I'm not going to serve your kind. But that's that's freedom. That's freedom. Freedom is ugly. It's ugly. And so we have to look at freedom in the eye and go, ooh, yep, I guess so. That's freedom. You're free to do that. Yikes. I think that's good. Anybody who says you want to talk about rights, you must stand for the person on both sides.
Oh, I love these guys who pretend to be outraged by the discrimination. Oh, yikes! Hating on gay people. We've only been doing that for about, I don't know, forever in the Republican Party. And oh, gosh, woo, that looks ugly to me. Really? Well, so are you saying that people who are exercising that religious freedom, as you call it, are ugly people? Great. All right. Well, nice to have you, Glenn, back on this side. Okay. But he says, look, freedom is ugly, man. Freedom isn't free, and it's hideous looking. And so you need to allow it. Now, actually, there is a point to be made there that, look, we have to allow the KKK to march. We have to allow people to say heinous things. We allow Glenn Beck in the country, right? And he says heinous things. I understand that. But freedom doesn't mean the freedom to discriminate and take away other people's rights. So this is the kind of talk that we had during the civil rights era. Hey, listen, man, I got the freedom to serve anyone I like in my diner, okay? And if I don't like black people, well, that's my rights, that's my freedom, that's my liberty to not serve black people. It's the same exact argument, and it isn't part of freedom, okay? That's actually taking away other people's freedom. Tucker Carlson also weighing in on this. Now, how is he going to top all the others? The Rush Limbaughs, the Louie Gohmerts, the Glenn Becks have all come in and said ridiculous things about Arizona's law. Well, he's going to say, of course, he's not in favor of discriminating against gays either, okay? But what's happening here apparently is, how do you go over the top of everyone else? You do some sort of Nazi or fascism reference, right? So here you go.
Of course, you don't want people discriminating against other people on the basis of irrelevant criteria like skin color. On the other hand, you need to protect people's right to exercise their religion. And it's also a matter of degrees. I mean, clearly we're in a moment of national hysteria here, where people who disagree get crushed. I thought the goal was tolerance. If you own the bakery, it seems to me you ought to have a little bit of discretion. I mean, I can say, look, you can't come into my bakery naked. You can't come in here and use vulgar language. You can't come in drunk. I mean, if you own the business, you have to have some right to make decisions about how and who you serve.
Are you against the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which says that you have to...
Don't bring this into this. Look, the bottom line is you're defending the use of government to crush people who don't want to bake a cake for a gay wedding. I'm just telling you, this has gone too far. And everybody in America is terrified to tell the truth, which is, this is insane. This is not tolerance. This is fascism.
Yeah, of course. Now, if you remember, the fascists were in power in a couple of countries, in the last century. We had the Italians and we had the Germans, if you remember. What did the Germans do with the gays? They must have put them in charge, right? Because in fascism, apparently, you just give the gays all the rights. Or perhaps they put pink triangles on them and sent them to concentration camps. But we're now in a topsy-turvy world that is Fox News, where if you don't discriminate against gays, well, you're just like the fascists. How that makes sense is not entirely clear. By the way, of course Alan Combs is right. Of course the civil rights issues is perfectly analogous, and that's why Tucker Carlson there said in the beginning, you can't discriminate on irrelevant factors like skin color. In other words, he's saying being gay is relevant, and I can discriminate based on that, and I can deny you service, and I can deny you all the rights that any other American has, and if you stop me from denying you rights, you're a fascist. Once again, I believe that fits in the category of ironic.